Well, they clearly missed their buy-side number for Azure growth last night. So everyone was hoping for 40%. They printed 38. And the reason they gave was they're using a lot of those GPU capacity for in-house applications. Now, the contrast with Meta was Meta said they are already seeing a big lift in ad conversions by applying AI. So that was the missing piece with Microsoft is they did not talk about a lift to their business.
See how he does that? It's just so curated. Come on, Google's cleaning their clock on Copilot. Satya turns to some guy as smart as you and says, what do we do? What do they do?
Well, they clearly need more applications that can generate revenue for them and really move the needle. They talked about GitHub Copilot and Office Copilot that they are bundling, but their growth rates haven't moved when it comes to that part of the business. And look, the Azure side, you cannot miss. If that's your key metric, you cannot come in light.
Have you used this stuff?
A little bit.
Copilot is just work. To use it, it struggles. Gemini is just there.
Matt Miller's a Copilot guy. I don't know. Okay. Capex came in higher than expected, and it's up. I mean, just for the quarter, $37.5 billion in Capex. That's up 66% from a year earlier. Is the market still comfortable with that kind of stuff?
Well, they applauded Meta last night. Meta said they will be spending 70% increase in CapEx for 2026. So that was a green light for Meta simply because they raised the top line. So expectations were 25%. They said we are going to do 30% next quarter. Right. And market was okay with raising CapEx.
Boy, as a portfolio manager, as a trader, where you love to trade around your core positions, you love today.
Yeah.
Or has the narrative changed for Microsoft, or is this kind of an overreaction?
I mean, see, Microsoft.
What do you want? Can you get out the buy ticket?
I'm looking for it right now.
Microsoft has got so many other businesses, like unlike Meta, which is all ads.
Yep.
Microsoft talked about Windows getting hit because memory prices are going up. So there are always puts and takes with a company like Microsoft simply because they've got a lot of legacy software, server sales.
Yep.
Now, all those are getting impacted by higher memory prices, what we are witnessing. I'm guessing Apple will talk about the same in terms of the memory impact. So,
including the drop early 2020, Mandeep. Once, twice big, a third time teen swings, a fourth time. This is now the fifth time we've seen a drawdown in Microsoft. Is this one different?
Well, this one is sort of in sympathy with all the other SaaS names that have had a 40 to 50% drawdown that we have seen over the past 3 months. So the software complex
SaaS is software.
Yes, and that's really beaten up right now because everyone expects software to get disrupted by these LLMs. And that's where Microsoft had to come down in sympathy. And that's why you saw that overreaction.
Paul wants to jump in here, but am I right? Copilot's an LLM?
Copilot is built on OpenAI's LLM, yes.
And it's not working.
It's not working because Anthropic Claude has released a product that works on Excel that probably works better.
So what are they doing in building 34? It's early. They're having their first, what is it? What's Lisa have? The
Cafe Mocha Latte.
Kai something, Maca, right. Mocha. What are they doing in building 34
They got to release more products that are comparable to a Claude, whatever these LLM companies. OpenAI is working on their own agentic functionality. That's the part that's hitting them is OpenAI right now is, yes, they are providing the model layer, but they're also releasing their own products. Right. And those are competing with Microsoft.
Paul, I thought Claude was a butler at the Hotel d'Aubusson in Paris. Continue.
So is there a belief that Microsoft can, in fact, be a real credible leading player in AI? Or is there a concern that maybe they're falling behind?
Well, the only criticism of Microsoft right now is they don't have their own LLM.
Okay.
So when you compare Microsoft to Google, Google has got everything vertically integrated. They got their own chips, they got their own model, they got their own applications. That's where Microsoft is reliant on OpenAI, but that contract is good through 2031. So nothing changes up until 2031.
I got to squeeze this in. Yesterday, his worship walked by me, Tom Secunda.
Oh boy.
Folks, who's the force, everything that we do, Mandeep Singh, Michael Barr, Paul Sweeney comes from Mr. Secunda's
Yep.
team of mathematical brilliance here. And we talked about perplexity. Help Mr. Secunda. What in God's name happens to perplexity? They missed the boat.
They missed the boat, and right now, with the LLM companies releasing their own applications, their own agentic functionality, I mean, you need Capex right now. You need the infrastructure to build these applications, and that's where Perplexity will
So
have
does
a very tough
Microsoft
time.
buy them this morning because they listened to Mandeep Singh?
Well, I think Microsoft, like I said, is good through 2031. They don't have to panic.
Mandeep,
Yeah.
the thing is the size of an aircraft carrier. It's down 10%.
It is, and I think it's an overreaction because
Okay.
of the sympathy with SaaS. So
Okay.
there wasn't anything fundamentally wrong with the print.